So, I want to talk about what is an NFT because it's very misconstrued as either some gimmick or just some way for people to get money. But the truth of it is an NFT is simply a contract. At its core, that's really all it is. There's things that you can put underneath the NFT, but think of it like this. Imagine when you're going to sign for a house, instead of signing for a house on like some piece of paper that can get lost or people have to look through all of these catalogs, instead that document is online. It's stored in the blockchain, so people cannot touch it. They can't alter it unless obviously there's stuff that you can do with the contract. But this way, no one can take it from you because it's there. It's visible. It's literally indestructible. So you have a house, you have this contract, and that contract is written in the blockchain. And that's really what an NFT is. When you look at all these aspects of life and you look at all these contracts that you sign, imagine just signing it in a decentralized platform where there's access somewhere there. Let's talk about what does an NFT actually do for a business and what's the valuable purpose and why we're starting to see it. I want to talk about why are businesses and companies like Nike, Adidas, Snoop Dogg, and all these big names getting into NFTs. And it's not because it's art. This is what they're realizing. So I talked about how an NFT is a contract written in the blockchain, which means it's decentralized, it's indestructible. There's all these terms you can go through. But why are businesses going through this process? It's because an NFT is not this JPEG that you can just right click and save, even though that's the meme in the crypto community. An NFT at its core has aspects to it, and that's why you see all these different roadmaps that create this utility map. So think of it like this. Let's just say you're starting the new Disney, and this is what it means for a business. For a business, it's instead of going to a venture capital and you go to give away portions of your company to all of these people, you give away portions of the company and you're getting money back as far as VC money. And let's just say you have a 10,000 NFT drop. Those 10,000 you sell for 1,000, and that's 10 million. When you do 10,000 times and you sell those 10,000 units for $1,000, you've now gotten $10 million of runway to build your business. But here's where a lot of mistakes happen, is people think just selling the NFT, that's it. That's why buying just the NFT is not the focus. It's who are the team behind the NFT? What's the business that they're actually building? And then what's the community? And then you have to start asking yourself, what is the realistic outlook of what's going to happen in 5 to 10 years? Because that's what actually creates the value of the NFT. And this is why Gary Vee's sold for 50 million and he's already had 50 million more in sales, is that he's built up all this time with his community for 10 years, over a decade. And he's proven that he can build a $500 million business that's going on well beyond that. And where it really matters is he's saying here, buy into what I'm building, this Disney per se. And these characters are going to hold value. But there's another aspect to that. It's a utility map and it's the roadmap. By having this NFT and this contract, he's able to give things away to those people. And this comes in form of like access, different levels of community. He can do events. He can do exclusive drops to them, merchandise, discounts, partnerships, all of these different things. Some benefits that can come along with the NFT. And that's where the difference is. See, from a consumer point of view, if you're trying to do it from a business side for the VC money, you need to look at it as like, what is the consumer getting? What is the utility that they're getting? What levels of access? What are you going to do for them? What are you going to give your initial 10,000 founders or 1,000 founders for being willing to stake $1,000 or $10,000 into something that is just a promise? because there's no guarantee. If you go back into the early 1990s and the 2000s of the internet and dot-com boom, you look at all of the companies, there are not that many companies that are still around today. And that's the important thing, is why all of these NFT projects will not last until 2030 or even 2050, let alone beyond that. Just having the money is not enough to build a business. You need the right founders, the right team. They have to have the right business behind it. And that's why most NFTs are not really going to make it past their drop. And that's why a lot of people lose money. It's why a lot of people will lose money in the next 5 or 10 years. So when you're thinking of it from a business case sense and what you can do with it and the purpose of it, the first level you have to ask yourself is, why would someone like me want to invest $1,000 or $10,000 into your business? And you need to ask yourself that, is what value are you going to bring? And that value comes in forms of utility when you're selling the NFT, and that's what's written in the blockchain through the contract. And that's the NFT is that contract. That's why it's so important. When you look at it, you have to look at it from a consumer point of view of what do they get for buying in early, besides just some cool art or a meme or whatever. It's not a stock. It is a way for someone, yes, to get early access into the business. It's a way for you as a business to make money early and to raise capital. But from a consumer point of view, what access, utility, community, what things are you going to give to those exclusive people? How are you going to keep raising that value of their stock, where them putting in $1,000, $10,000 is almost very small and minuscule over the 10-year run or 50-year run of what you're actually trying to build? Because that's what's going to matter. When you're looking at from a business, you can't look at it as, I'm selling this NFT as art and I'm trying to make money. Now, if you're a creator, you're an artist and you want to do that, sure, but it's going to be very hard to build that long term unless you're a very great creator and artist. From a business, you have to look at it as you're getting VC money, you're getting capital, you're raising money from your initial investors, which is your community. And at the end of the day, if you don't keep them happy, then you're going to lose your community, which is going to look bad on your reputation, which is going to bring you down. So raising that $10 million or $100 million won't mean anything in 10 years when there's no one who trusts your word. That's the most important thing, is trust and value with your community. If you're a consumer, that's what you need to look for. You need to look for what access, utility, DeFi mechanics, the community, the perks, the rewards, the benefits, all of these different levels of access. And then you have to look at the team. What is the team? What do the founders look like? What is their connections, their experiences? How active are they? Do they even have a community? And then you have to look at the community itself. Is it real people? Is it bots? Is it just a bunch of people who are just looking to flip for money, and there's not really people who want to actually hold that NFT for the long term? What's the size of the network of what you're buying into? What's the quality or the people? And then you have to look at the art and the cultural significance of the art. But before you get to that point, you have access, you have community, you have the mechanics, the founders, and the team. And that's what matters a lot more than the art and the significance, because if you're not around in 10 years, then a piece of art is a piece of art. It's subjective. It's going to sell for what people think it's worth. So if you're not around, if in 10 years the company's gone, then it doesn't matter. I hope that was helpful. I hope that was insightful and helps you understand that an NFT is not just a piece of art. It's not just this stock value thing that you're just buying to flip. There's aspects to it that really matter, and that business use case is what's going to be around for a decade and 100 years from now. So thank you for watching.